G'day mates, Keg11 here, and welcome to the Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona, Spain for the 1998 Spanish Grand Prix. Now, for those that may possibly be a bit confused about this, the Spanish Grand Prix in 98 was moved forward before the Monaco Grand Prix as compared to 1997. Although, as far as the next few years go, this will be changed back to its original date in 1999 to an unspecified time. Well, tell you about that a bit further on. Okay, now coming to this fifth round, I believe first in the drivers championship. Yes, drawing with Michael Schumacher. I would have thought that I would have been drawn with Mika Häkkinen because he won the last race, but obviously Schumacher's had better progress, or he has actually better progress throughout the whole season. So currently we're drawing. So if I want to hang on to the lead, I need to go a bit quite well in this race and the next few races. But we shall see how that goes, because McLaren and Ferraris are much faster than my Benetton in a straight line at least. Anyway, let's have a look at the real life version of this race. Häkkinen did win the race. It was actually a formality. It was so dominant through this race. Similar can be said with his teammate David Coulthard, who came second in this race, and then Michael Schumacher can only do third. Although the guy I've replaced, Alexander Wurz, managed to get fourth place, mainly because Irvine and Fisichella took each other out. They had a bit of a battle going on for quite a few laps, and Fisichella tried to overtake Irvine into a corner quite aggressively, similar to what I would do on lap 28, but they come together and spin into the sand trap. Both are out, and Fisichella was fined $7,500 for the incident. Other than that, the only unusual incident was on the last lap, where Trulli let Untitled Chapter pass for him to score 8, mainly because that Marshall mistaken Frenton's Williams, which has red livery, with a Ferrari. So the Marshal thought the Ferrari was going to lap Trulli's Prost, so Trulli was forced to slow down. Trulli was PO'd, of course, but what can you do? Rules are rules, and if he went against them, it would have been... yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Let's have a look at the Constructors' Championship at the moment. As I said, Kent11, myself, is in the lead on 23 points, drawing with Michael Schumacher. I thought because I retired at the end of the San Marino Grand Prix, I was going to lose first spot, presumably to Mika Häkkinen. But Schumacher, I think he got second place in the last race. So he's up to second place, or drawn first according to this. Following behind them, Mika Häkkinen. Now, Mika Häkkinen did win, but he's still a little bit far behind because he didn't really have a good go with the first two races in Australia and Brazil. But in Argentina, I think he won that race. He was able to start his World Championship challenge, and similar result in San Marino. Following behind him, we've got David Coulthard, Häkkinen's teammate, on 18, just 2 points behind. And then way further back, we've got Eddie Irvine in the second Ferrari, Untitled Chapter in the Williams, so he's not going too bad. Definitely going better than his teammate. His teammate hasn't scored all season yet. Then Jean Alesi, after scoring points in the last two races, so he's jumped up to fifth. And then rounding out the point scoring positions, we've got Damon Hill. And what you can't see on that list, because I didn't get an image of it, is Jarno Trulli with one solid point from his sixth place finish in Australia. And now looking at the Constructors' Championship, not the drivers. I know I made a little mistake of that. No, the Constructors' Championship. We got McLaren in the lead on 38 points. They managed to pass Benetton a few races ago, but also Ferrari has now passed Benetton. Ferrari's on 29. Benetton is still on 23, which they haven't scored since didn't score back in San Marino. Looking to score a few more points as it is, although in saying that, they are pretty much well into this battle pack with McLaren and Ferrari, similar to last year with Williams instead of McLaren. Speaking about Williams is up to fourth place, so they're saving a little bit of face here because, like I said at the start of the season, Williams losing Adrian Newey and forced to use older design Mecha Chrome engines were not going to be as competitive, although Untitled Frentzen is rebooking that, which is actually going to be embarrassing to Jacques Villeneuve. So we'll see how that goes. Equally as remarkable is Sauber. John Lacey has delivered the goods to his new team, giving them 4 points, really making up for Sauber's failure to score back in 1997, and they should be where they would like to be, scoring points and in the top 5 position. Rounding out the point scoring positions is Jordan Nugent Honda on 3 points, Damon Hill delivering the goods there, and Prost, it's having a bad year, but Jarno Trulli's 1 point just sees them at least scoring a point throughout the season, although that doesn't say how bad the team's actually going, so they'll need to pick up their game a lot over the next few races. Alright, so now we have a look at the qualifying results for this race. I start in pole position with a 1:23.280, 0.629 seconds in front of Mika Häkkinen, although looking at the how long the pit straight is here at Catalunya, I would predict Mika Häkkinen and also third place David Coulthard will blast past me before we reach the first corner. Behind Häkkinen, as I said, David Coulthard, and then Michael Schumacher. So Michael Schumacher does have an opportunity to catch up on the McLaren, depending how the Ferrari engine goes. And behind Schumacher is his teammate Eddie Irvine, just 1.143 seconds behind Schumacher. And then rounding out the top 10, we have got Jean Alesi Sauber, Untitled Frentzen Williams, Damon Hill's Jordan, Johnny Herbert's Sauber, it's just the 99. Johnny Herbert's Sauber, sorry, and then my teammate Giancarlo Fisichella. So good results for him. Looking at the rest of the grid, it looks quite typical, although good job Mika Salo bringing his Tyrrell up to 12th place, so he's been qualifying quite well for this year. Similarly to Esteban Tuera, the young Argentinian, qualifying 15th, so he's not going too bad in the Minardi either. And then following behind them, the Prost are not going very well. Jarno Trulli's at 18th, Olivier Panis at 21st, and typically last place is Riccardo Rossi, although he is in 107%. One thing I forgot to mention, Riccardo Rossi, this is the first time he would not qualify for a race this year, having missed out on the qualifying by 0.07 seconds, so bad luck for him, but I could see similar results here. So anyway, that behind us, let's get to this race, shall we? Okay, here we go, about to start the Spanish Grand Prix right about now, and at the moment I'm in the lead. No, I've just lost position to Häkkinen, although I haven't lost any more positions at this point. Häkkinen, no, Michael Schumacher has gone past me in the Ferrari. Oh, that was almost a touch there as we're coming to L for the first time. Going a bit too wide coming through there, and David Coulthard passes me? Nope. I'm still in third place as we come across Renault for the first time. Coulthard has an opportunity, big red opportunity. There's a bit of contact, and that dropped him further back, but I've got third place pretty much down pat as we come around Repsol now for the first time. Still a reasonable amount of distance between myself and Schumacher, and respectively Schumacher and Häkkinen. I'd say about a second or so. We come into Verth for the first time. Normally a fast left-hander, but because of the physics of this game, I have to go a bit slower. And also particularly here, Kamsa, you're meant to go here full bore, but here I have to shift down a gear or two to be able to go through. If you go full bore, you are going to go into the sand trap. No doubt about it. Unfortunately, this corner here, La Caixa, or whatever, you go around in those like here. And also here, back to Sabadell as I tried to make a move on Schumacher, but that obviously didn't work. So I'm still in third place as we come around second last corner, and then New Holland for the last time before we come on to the very long pit straight to complete our first lap. as I try to make a move or decide how to go about Michael Schumacher, but Schumacher's pulled this. No, he slowed down completely as I pull down to the outside. Oh! And I make contact with Schumacher. I think slowed down to see if he catches up or not, but Schumacher has lost a lot. Yeah, 6th place. I'm not sure what happened. I think Mark Schumacher slowed down straight in front of me, so I veered out, and I thought I would have passed him, but no, he was right next to me as I veered back in, and as such, we made contact. So, I'm not sure what's going to be in the situation with that. But at the moment, I'm 4 seconds behind Mika Häkkinen, and behind me, I'm not sure who is behind me. I would assume David Coulthard, because it looked that brief half a second I looked back. I did look like a Benetton from 1997, but that's not going to be the case. I doubt it would have been a Sauber because they're predominantly blue, so the only other option I can think of is David Coulthard, but no need to talk about Coulthard anymore. He's way back behind me. And I'm, wow, 2.56 seconds, so I've caught up a second and a half, so it sounds like it's looking good for me of my hopes to catch Häkkinen, because I got 4 laps to catch him, providing I don't make mistakes. Actually, although I've said in the previous video this is one of my favorite tracks, this is also a track that I've had quite a bit of experience on in this game, because in helping out test outs, how the game works and things like that, I spent a lot of time on this track because this is the track that Benetton used a lot of testing in 1998. So I think that experience and testing is really helping me out here. And also, glancing at the standings as we cross the finish line, Damon Hill in the Jordans up to 6th place, so good on him. Hopefully bringing some more points home for Jordan. Eddie Jordan will be all too happy with that. But looking at the rest of it, Mike Schumacher's regained rather, and now he's behind Irvine, so the Ferraris are 4th and 5th. And then the top 3 is Häkkinen, obviously, myself, obviously, and I was right, David Coulthard is in 3rd place, but he is quite a distance behind me. This is increasingly becoming a battle between myself and Mika Häkkinen. If I can catch up, 2.12 seconds, so reasonable amount of distance behind. We'll see how this comes, because I think at certain parts of the track, this corner here, the Sabadell. I've never really liked that corner because it's long, but it's also on a hill, gradient. It's just not a good corner in my opinion, for me. And I think that last sector is where I lose quite a bit of time. Which is quite the case. And looking at the official timesheets, nothing's changed in regards to positions. We've got Häkkinen, Levin, Coulthard, Irvine, Michael Schumacher, and Damon Hill. In saying that, I think Hotel Francis has fallen back a bit. And other than that, I think we just have 1 or 2 position changes here and there. Not too much change in position. Then, like, for example, somebody starts 15th, they finish in 8th. Although they did happen at the start of the year, yes, I admit, but it hasn't happened since. So ooh, at minute 40, so I have caught up almost, I think, 0.8 of a second. So my challenge to catch up to Häkkinen is working really, really well. And looking at that past bit of silence, I actually am handling this quite well. The only thing though, one thing I had a problem with practice, particularly that 3rd sector, is coming to New Holland where it goes right, straight a bit, and then right again. Sometimes the rear end gets a bit loose because I have it on a really high oversteer setting, so low downforce. Although I have customized it accordingly for this track, I still get a little problem with the bumps. Because, as I figured out with this game, to definitely win on Grand Prix mode because of the physics go, get as much oversteer out of the car as possible. It does not, I'm telling you now, it does not affect any other stats if you go completely oversteer. Although, in saying that, as I make an attempt on Häkkinen but epically fail, in saying that, you will still need to customize it for particular tracks respectively. So for example, Monaco, it begs for high downforce. So you can't exactly go or no downforce to get the oversteer. So still have that sort of high downforce at the front, no downforce in the rear, but give the rear end a bit more downforce, a lot more downforce. So you're able to have the best of both worlds. You're able to get around the tight corners, but have that oversteering ability. And as such, it's helping me out here. Because this, keep in mind, okay, something I haven't said, and I was correct. I was correct. That corner got me, and as I saw, okay, shut up what I was saying before. I was very close to passing Mika Häkkinen there. And it's on the 5th lap, so if I went well there, I would have made an attack on Mika Häkkinen for the final lap. But obviously that's not the case, so 12 seconds. Nah, there's no chance I'm going to win the race now. Not with only a lap to go. Damn un blast! I was having a good run too. So much so that I didn't stop commentating myself and started chatting about other things toward this game. Ugh. Will this mean the Häkkinen's in the lead? See, I was on 23 points. It's going to get 23, 29. Yes, this will mean that Mika Häkkinen would be in the lead of the championship by 1 point. Done. Well, at least I'm very close to the front, which is what I would like to be. I like to be, looking at how well I'm going, I'm fully expect myself to finish in the top 3 this season. Championship or not, if I do win the championship, great. If not, so what? As we come across Lakaisa for the final time. Not too shabby there. 5 point. Whoa! I caught up a lot in that on the whole lap. Wow, I was only 12 seconds behind. I'm only 5. If they went on for another lap or so, I probably would have been able to catch up to Häkkinen. I must be pissed of that spin. Well, I would be because I was really close to passing. But sure enough, Häkkinen wins the race. And I come through 2nd place. I'd say roughly 4 seconds behind. We'll say so in a sec. But overall, not a very bad race. Really good race, actually. If it wasn't for losing control coming into New Holland, I would have won the race. Ugh, I'm beating myself up about that. But what can you do with just motor racing? It may be a bad race, but look to the next race or so. It may be better. And it's not like that I've lost a chance to win the championship. This is only the 5th race in the season, and I'm in 2nd place only by a point. So we shall see how this turns out. So anyway, Mika Häkkinen wins the Spanish Grand Prix like in real life, but it wasn't as easy as real life. Followed by myself, 4.5 seconds behind. David Coulthard comes in 3rd. So McLaren 1 and 3, 7 seconds behind. Followed by Eddie Irvine, Michael Schumacher, the 2 Ferraris, and John Alesi. John Alesi looked like he managed to get past Damon Hill and scores another point for Sauber. So congratulations on to him. Although looking at that, apart from this 5-car pack, everyone was nowhere to be seen. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see a lot of lap drivers there as well. And now looking at the Drivers' Championship, as I was expected, Mika Häkkinen is now in the lead on 30 points after scoring 10 points from that race, although I'm in 2nd place on 29 points. Schumacher has dropped back a bit. He's now 4 points behind me after I scored 4 points ahead of him. I scored 6 points. He would have scored 2, finishing 5th. And then behind him we got David Coulthard on 22, so he's keeping McLaren's Constructors' Championship ambitions alive. And rounding out the top point scoring positions, we got Heintal Frentzen failing to score, Jean Alesi scoring 1 point, so he's a point behind Frentzen now, and then Damon Hill and Jarno Trulli, both not scoring a point, so they're 8th and 9th respectively. And looking at the Constructors' Championship now, McLaren has increased their lead considerably. They are now, 18 points ahead of Ferrari. So they're running away with the Constructors' Championship as predicted at the start of the season. Ferrari, I think it'll be better hope to try and stop myself, Benetton, from catching them up. Although that's not going to be too hard because Giancarlo is not scoring any points. So it's all just me. So obviously he's in a little bit of trouble there, but I'm trying to help him as much as I can. In 4th place, we got Williams Becker on 6 points. And then following them, we got Sauber Petronas on 5. So, like in the Drivers' Championship, Sauber's a point behind Williams. So, we can expect maybe a change in the next few races, depending how the Alesi and Frenton goes. And then finally, the score this round, we go Jordan, Mugen, Honda, and Prost, Peugeot on 3 points and 1 point respectively. So there we have it for the 1998 Spanish Grand Prix, and also the last video for this year. I'm going to be taking a couple of weeks off over the Christmas New Year period for some R&R, and we'll jump back to doing these videos in I think about 2-3 weeks. Time will tell. So thank you guys for watching this video. For those that have been watching me since the start, thank you for supporting me in my first year or first couple of months of the year doing these videos, and I'll see you guys in the Monaco Grand Prix in 2015.